Fast fashion is all about quick turnover, affordability, and accessibility, but it often comes at a high price for both people and the planet. Kathleen, a local fashion designer and advocate for sustainable fashion, is bringing awareness about the environmental consequences many know of but few follow.
Fast fashion is both the symptom and the cause. Is what happens when two things. Companies want to make quick, buck. They want to cut down on a lot of expenses, a lot of the quality suffers because of it, and they want to produce as many clothing items as fast as possible to stay up with the trends, just to make a lot of profit without really caring for the environment, the consumers, and what is lost in the process.
When sitting down with the manager of Mood Fabrics, Safira St. Fort, we come to learn of the fundamental concepts defining fast fashion and how it is woven in becoming this cultural phenomenon.
I like to think of fast fashion as a lifestyle approach. It's just not environmentally friendly. So for the production of clothing being done at that rapid pace, you have to understand the amount of carbon that is being produced in the air. And then when the article of clothing is disposed, because it's only worn for a short period of time, sometimes you have customers that only wear things once and then it's thrown out.
Fast fashion's emphasis on affordability drives a high demand for low-cost fabrics, such as polyester and other synthetic materials. Fast fashion's rapid turnover of clothing leads to massive textile waste. Consumers often discard garments after only a few wears, contributing to landfill overflow.
So this is what happens if you burn natural one, and this is what happens if you burn the poly one. Polyester is a huge problem. If you burn on polyester, you're releasing chemicals into the air that sadly are very difficult to deal with. You're polluting water sources, you're polluting the ocean, you're polluting communities. Microplastics get into your bloodstream through your clothing. It's a very nasty issue. It is terrible for the environment, which is why I encourage people, if you can, if you have the means, please do opt for natural fiber clothing. Cotton, linen, things like that are really gonna go a long way. They feel a lot nicer and they are a lot better for the environment.
Gati is a student at the forefront of fashion innovation. She carries with her not just a sketchbook and measuring tape, but a profound commitment to sustainability.
I've been in love with fashion since I was 12. I was modeling when I was in Venezuela, and then we moved here, and I still love this thing. So I decided to study fashion design in MFI. Sustainable fashion, it's like clothes that are already made, and then we're just trying to recycle them, like reuse them. I mean, I remember doing some of stuff with denim jackets, with my old pants, and I think it's cool because you're reusing stuff that is already made, So I think that helps a lot because you're not wasting again the fabric, dyeing, and that takes a long. Do you think this one is cute?
It could create pollution and everything. We have learned that here at MFI, and basically there's landfills with denim and leather and everything like that, and it's affecting our greenhouse right now. And us as designers, I feel like we are responsible, especially now as upcoming designers, should be the generation to prevent that from growing.
How much waste do you think fast fashion really produces?
I couldn't give you a percentage, but it's massive. It's huge. It's huge. Things are changing culturally, so the generation after me, they are more cautious of everything. They question everything. And I think that's beautiful because you can see them leaning into upcycling, recycling, so that article of clothing has a second life.
Approximately 85% of textiles end up in landfills each year, which equates to about 21 billion tons of waste.
The majority of the problem is not us. It's the fashion companies. Fashion is the second most wasteful industry, following oil. The amount of clothing items that are in landfills is unimaginable. And it's a thing of recycling, yes, can help it, but at some point, the clothes are stop gonna get recycled. At some point, they are gonna end up in the same landfill.
As the fast fashion industry continues to thrive, the artistry once found in fashion design has gradually been overshadowed by the demand for rapid production. The pressure to produce clothing at a rapid pace has led to a decline in the craftsmanship and creativity.
For me, fashion is art, and it derivates into different levels, and fast fashion is the end of that. You should never divorce the art from the garment, because that's really what makes it unique. I'm seeing a lot of this children's work, and it's phenomenal. Fashion has become a business. It's not an art anymore.
Despite our efforts, the county landfill representative declined to comment on the impact of fast fashion. While not solely focused on recycling, clothing donation rates can provide insights into consumers' behaviors related to clothing reuse. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, approximately 2.5 billion pounds of textiles were recycled through donation or other means in the United States.
Stop buying it. Every day there's a new trend, but I feel as though we should stop preventing to buying fast fashion.
It's when you purchase it and you wear it once and then you dispose of it. It has to come kind of full circle in the community to say okay, yes, we'll make more money, but what are we doing to the actual environment in which our kids have to live in after? If everyone part of the process, from the consumer to the person who creates, the factories that create it, if everyone consciously just understands the life cycle of clothing and kind of enter a new era of relationship and wear, I think it is completely doable.
Combating fast fashion requires a multifaceted approach involving changes in consumer behavior, industry practices, and policy interventions. Promoting the adoption of circular economy principles such as recycling, reusing, and remanufacturing minimizes waste and maximizes resource efficiency in the fashion supply chain.
It's going to be a collective effort. It's going to take us a long time to get there. But again, put pressure on these companies. If you know that their practices are not the most humane, if they are doing damage for the environment, do not purchase from them instead of still being slaves to these big companies, because we are in such a necessity that we simply just don't have the time and energy to do that research. Knowing the information that you need to know, and big companies to stop being greedy. And if they will not stop being greedy, then we need to stop giving them our money.